I've been eating dog food lately to save money, and I'm going to show you some of my favorites. The duck one is a good one. Lamb is even better. This one basically is like human food. I don't mind eating it. The canned stuff isn't as good, but it's a little bit cheaper, so it'll do. But this is the real winner right here. Prepared meals. It's literally a whole meal in one. Eating dog food instead of human food has helped me save money, and I feel better, and my skin is glowing.
What the f*** is wrong with you?
Now, when I first saw that clip, I was going to clown on that young fella for eating dog food, but then I thought to myself, well, desperate times call for desperate measures, right? And our government has definitely created desperate times for a lot of people. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a fairly quick and very crazy weekend clown world update for you guys today, and as usual, we have very little time to waste, so let's get into it. Now, if you place your attention on the screen for a moment. Now, I'm not quite for sure exactly who this fella is or what he identifies as, but if you've ever seen the movie Back to the Future Part 2, I think you'd agree with me that this looks exactly like Biff Tannen in drag, right? Am I right?
You know, you can put lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig.
Hey guys, real quick, before we go any further, I just wanted to let you know that I started a Give, Send, Go page a few months ago to try to fight back against this crazy YouTube censorship and suppression, and ultimately try to keep this channel alive. So if you're interested in helping me fight that fight, I will put a link to that in the description box below, as well as the pinned comment. And with that being said, we're going to keep it moving with this clip of Washington, D.C. Police Chief and DEI hire Pamela Smith being asked by a reporter what the chain of command is now in Washington, D.C. since Trump has taken over law enforcement duties, to which she responds, "What does that mean? The black lesbian police chief doesn't know what chain of command means." Roll it.
That's what the chain of command is now?
What does that mean?
Well, is it Pam Bondi speaking to the mayor, speaking to you, or how does this work?
So the executive order is clear. The president has requested MPD services, and our home rule charter outlines the process. The president designated Attorney General Bondi as his proxy to request services through me.
What's that? Say that again? That's what the chain of command is now?
What does that mean?
You were literally too stupid to insult.
And next up, we have Oakland Mayor Barbara Lee talking to Jake Tapper about how Trump is targeting cities with black and brown leadership. Roll it.
But let me just say also, it's not lost on anyone that the cities that he is calling out, first of all, have large numbers of black and brown people. Secondly, the crime rate is going down in all of these cities. Thirdly, they're all headed by black mayors. Now, what does that say? What does that picture paint? So we all know who he is.
What did you say?
Secondly, the crime rate is going down in all of these cities.
That's a damn lie, and you know it!
Now, it would appear that this lady has been watching CNN because she starts spitting out the same talking points. Roll it.
Is that every single city that Trump has called out as a disgrace or in ruin, in addition to D.C., currently has a black mayor and all-time historic lows for violent crime. This is not accidental. This is not a coincidence. It always comes back to plain old racism.
I'm not racist. Every Martin Luther King Day, I order a cup of dark roast.
Now, we see all these cities and police departments that are being run by black women, and they are just in complete chaos. However, Jasmine Crockett's going to tell us what people really think about black women. Roll it.
It is funny because when people think about black women, they think about our strength. They think about how, usually we're juggling so much and we're doing so much and we're still going to school and we're doing all the things. And part of it is unfair. Because at the end of the day, we are still but humans.
Surely you can't be serious.
And next up, we have a black male leader of another city that has its fair share of problems. This is Mayor Brandon Johnson of Chicago, talking about the only thing these people ever talk about, race and Donald Trump. Roll it.
Okay, fine. Since you are begging, I do believe that Donald Trump is intimidated. I know. I think you're begging.
No interruptions.
So let me just answer that. I do appreciate you begging. So I would just say it like this, that the president has always been intimidated by the intellectual prowess of black men. And so, of course, he would speak in those petite and puerile terms.
A black guy. Imagine that.
So it's not only CNN talking to the mayor of Oakland about crime in these majority black cities. Here we have a clip from MSNBC. Now, I didn't know Lionel Richie went and got a job at MSNBC, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, here we have Muriel Bowser, the mayor of Washington, D.C., talking about it. Roll it.
One of the things that we have seen over and over from the president, from his team, Stephen Miller saying it's like Baghdad in Ethiopia. They seem to hold their harshest criticism sometimes for cities that are majority black and brown. Do you see that, and what do you think that means?
I think that I have been dealing kind of with this issue for a number of years. It's kind of easy fodder on the campaign trail. But now we're talking about governing, and my job is to focus on making sure our city is running well, and people enjoy a great quality of life. And I think we're doing a really good job.
Bunch of bullshit.
Now, I have one more clip from MSNBC talking about President Trump's crackdown on crime in D.C., and this one is probably the craziest one yet. Roll it.
I think it's really important to be clear about what is going on here, and a relatively small crime problem is being used for specific authoritarian purposes that we know and understand. So let's be clear about D.C. does have one really big crime problem, which was the January 6th insurrection incited by the current President of the United States, and his first act in coming back was pardoning all the people who tried to overturn constitutional republic order in Washington, D.C. When I go to D.C., I'm not afraid of losing my wallet so much as I'm afraid of losing my vote. I'm not afraid of losing my wallet so much as I'm afraid that my children's freedom to breathe will be stolen in a world where climate change policy is non-existent. I'm afraid that the future of middle-class people will be stolen by the very things you were talking about, cutting the safety net, cutting Medicaid, cutting rural hospitals.
Right. Everything that guy just says, bullshit. Thank you.
Hey guys, real quick, before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to let this loop on the screen. Now, this is just one of those prank videos put on by Weezy and her little twink buddy there in the red sweatshirt. Anyway, today's video is being brought to us by the Etsy store Red Clover Fields. Now, many of you know that is my wife's Etsy store, and she's got some fantastic stuff on her website, stuff I use every day, and I swear by it. So if you're looking to take control of your health, maybe get away from some big pharma products and check out some more natural remedies, definitely go peruse her store. I will put a link to that in the description box below. And I want to give a big shout out to today's honorable mentions, Chilbra and Jess M from Canada, for each leaving a super thanks on the last video. So Chilbra and Jess, thank you both so much. I really appreciate it. So once again, today's video sponsor is the Etsy store Red Clover Fields, with the honorable mentions going to Chilbra and Jess M from Canada. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. All right, I think we've all seen enough of Weezy's stomach for one day. Get this off the screen, please. Oof.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
It's okay.
Oh my God. Do you want to fight?
No.
Do you want to fight me?
Drop it.
What was that?
Fat boy. Funny because he's fat.
Now, since we heard Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett speaking earlier about strong, educated, hardworking black women, I figured we should probably show one. Roll it.
Thing I know, and two things for sure, baby, they always come back.
Gonna better things. Elevating to white land. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't come back to me when your girl, whatever she was.
I don't understand the words you just said.
And next up, we have this lovely lady who is talking about white privilege. Now, she claims that because of white privilege, white people would get into schools that they didn't have the academic scores for. However, there was literally something called affirmative action where black people would get into colleges not because of their academic scores, but simply because they were black. Where's the self-awareness here? Roll it.
Dear white family, I have a question. Are you now in a space that you can admit that you have received privilege because of the color of your skin? Can you admit that? That you've received potential bank loans that you didn't have the credit score for, got in schools that you didn't have the academic scores, was able to live in communities that you couldn't afford? Can you admit that you had privilege?
No.
Can you admit that? And can you also admit that us brown people, melanated humans, we've not been playing victim? Can you admit that you guys have been minimizing and avoiding this topic because of your own guilt of receiving the privilege? Can you admit that? And if so, when did you realize it? When did you realize that, oh my God, racism is real, oppression is real, systemic oppression is real, privilege is real? When did you guys realize that? Talk to me. Post your comment in the bottom.
What is wrong with you people? Huh?
Now, liberals will call it racist if you want to move to a white community, or they'll call it white flight, or whatever other ridiculous names they have for it. But does anyone really want to live around people like this little degen? Roll it.
What's up, fool? What you looking at, fool? What we do if I pull up to your block and took all your stuff, fool?
Best get to stepping, son.
That's why I thought nothing, fool. Y'all scared of me, fool. Said yo, fool, I'm really out here in these streets. Alright, fool? Alright.
Who the f*** do you think you are, you crazy little shit?
Now, before we wrap the video up, I have a couple of pictures to show you guys real quick that will give you an idea of where we're at as far as the collapse of society goes. Now, here in this first picture, we have the Miss Wayne County Beauty Pageant, and Amira Hashwi is the first person to win said beauty pageant wearing a hijab.
See, now that's some bullshit.
Now, in our second picture, we have these two fellas who were recently hired by the NFL team, the Minnesota Vikings, to be on the cheerleading squad. Now, I think there's another team in the NFL that also recently hired a male cheerleader, but I can't remember which team that was, so there's that.
So long, gay boys!
All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping it up with this clip of former Democrat Congressman Beto O'Rourke. Now, you may remember Beto from his run for the governor of Texas or for the president of the United States, where he promised everyone he was going to take our ARs and our AKs. Yeah, good luck with that. Anyway, it looks like Beto is gearing up for a run for the Texas Senate, and here's what he had to say recently. Anyway, things are clearly getting very crazy out there, guys, so please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time, love you guys. Peace. Roll it.
We are in a basketball game right now, if you'll excuse the metaphor, where the refs have left the arena. And the other side is just clobbering the shit out of us, just punching us in the face, kicking us in the nuts. And we're kind of throwing our hands up and we're asking the crowd, the people of America, hey, do you see what's going on here? This is unfair. This isn't the rules that we agreed to play by. Well, who cares about the fucking rules right now? Punch back, kick back, dunk over their heads, and win some fucking power.
What did you say? What the f*** did you just say?
This is unfair. This isn't the rules that we agreed to play by.
You're a bitch.
2, 10, 12, 15. Oops, stepping on a... It's black. Anyway,